Our show can never be accused of not having star-pulling power. We are joined today by Stuart MacGill. 44 tests for Australia, 208 test wickets, 3 one-dayers because you couldn't field.
Yeah.
Mate, welcome to our show.
Thank you very much. Am I the star that can pull, or...?
I don't know,
I'm not sure. I'm not really sure.
I don't think you are.
I don't think so.
To be honest. William and Reni, welcome again.
Old and
as
fat.
per always. You're not fat. Black shirt.
Yes.
Slimming.
Yes, thinning, mate.
$3.50 Kmart. Check
Deal.
it out.
Christmas deal?
Yeah, baby.
Who says crime doesn't pay? Now, we have just witnessed the third test and Australia has retained the Ashes. Mate, you were pretty vocal before the game, or before the series on Twitter about selections. You didn't like Tim Payne.
Look.
You didn't like
Yeah.
Shaun Marsh. You didn't like...
They're your words. I love Tim Payne. What I didn't like was I didn't like Pete Nevill not getting selected. But Tim Payne wasn't even the wicketkeeper for Tasmania. They picked him. It was a rubbish call. But Tim's a great bloke. He's a pretty good keeper. And he's done a pretty good job. The quote that I produced on Twitter was... Australian selectors, morons masquerading as mentors. Hashtag boo selector, which I thought was pretty cool. Nobody commented on that, funnily enough.
Can you confirm that you were drinking heavily during that tweet?
I was not, but it turns out that perhaps I'm the moron.
Don't drink and tweet. I've learned that lesson, mate.
Well, see,
You've
the
had
thing
your
is,
phone hacked a couple of times.
I can't find
ridiculous.
Twitter unless I've been drinking.
It's boring, eh?
Yeah, well, I just don't even know where it is on my phone. I have a couple of drinks and then all of a sudden it pops up.
So how good was that? I mean, these boys have just won the Ashes, 3-0. Like, you've won a couple of Ashes yourself.
Yeah.
It is the pinnacle of Australian cricket.
There's a couple of reasons, and I don't have a racist bone in my body, apart from the fact that
Be careful, mate.
No.
I don't have time to play cricket, mate.
Mate, don't have a racist bone in my body. But English people, you
Cocky
can
as
keep
hell.
them. Well, see, they invented my game. I could only do one thing, which is play cricket.
Yeah.
They invented my game. I want to beat the people that invented it.
Yeah.
They think that even if we beat them, they're still better because they invented it. So I want to beat them hard.
And we're convicts.
Well, you might be. I mean, I have yet to be convicted.
We've got the same thing in rugby league. Obviously, they think they made the game. Well, they did.
Yeah.
And they think they're better than us, but we keep beating them. So I think the rivalry between the Aussies and the Poms in your game is a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot tighter because I don't think the English have been to a final since the 50s. I think.
Yeah, right.
In our game until this year's World Cup. So I think obviously the Pommies have flogged our blokes for the last couple of times in the cricket, and now it's 3-0 now. So what would the feeling be like? Just say if you're in camp, like the sledging in the 4th and 5th games, would it be massive? Because I want to know about that. You playing against some greats against England and playing with the greats of like Ponting and Gilchrist and all these sort of big time sort of characters of the game that we sort of love. You know what I mean? But what were they like? Well, as sledgers? And I don't give a fuck about what sort of blokes they are.
Blokes, yeah. The bottom line is that if you know what it's like in footy, right? If you come up against a guy who's as good, if not better than you, you're not going to say a whole lot. You just want him to know. You go blank face on him. You want him to know that you're up for it. You want him to know that you're not going to back down.
Yeah.
If there's a little bit of a chink, you might have a bit of a poke at it.
Yeah.
And that's all that happens in cricket. But apparently in this series, it's been
nasty,
pretty full on.
When they say it's been personal, though, how personal can it be?
Well, so from my understanding, so we're all, sorry.
Were you a big sledger?
You and so I used to sledge living daylights out of umpires.
Help you.
And if you
good for
dropped the
career.
catch and you were in my team, then I'd have a go at you.
Yeah.
I would only have a go at young blokes. So the thing is, if a guy comes out to bat and he doesn't think he's good enough, then you remind him.
Yeah.
Right? Because you don't think you're good enough. And I'd said it, several times. The last time you watched me play, you paid for a ticket. Right? So that's your go-to, your starting point, right? Because it's true. And you're sitting there going, that's true. Oh my God, that's Steve Roy over there a bit off. It's like, and they panic and they lose it. These guys, when they say personal, I believe that personal is nowadays, because
anything's personal.
The kids of today, you've had a go at me. Oh, that's personal. You know what, mate? You've got self-doubt. I'm allowed to raise it. I don't think you say too much, because if you say too much, then you expose yourself.
I think probably just say back in your day, like there was
In the 1820s.
a level of respect, I suppose, what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And just I think in this day and age, you've probably got these older players that have got that respect, and then you got these young kids that are, I don't know, 20 to 25 that really have absolutely no respect for to the guys that have done it before them. And that happens in every single sport, whether it be cricket, rugby league, rugby union. I think that's happening in cricket now, because a 22-year-old is probably smashing the hell out of a bloke who's played 100 tests. They just don't give a shit.
I don't think they know. Like,
They don't care.
Yeah, I don't think it's a sport
I'm out there
thing,
to
though,
take
Willie.
your head off.
I don't think it's a sport thing necessarily. I think it's just like
It's in
they don't
society.
know. They don't know. Like, that's actually why. And the reason I asked for this photo to be put up behind us here. Like, this is one of the best sporting photos I've seen for a long time. It popped up yesterday on Twitter. Pat Cummins, he's a young dude. He's the one on the left there. Mate, he's young. He's smiling like you wouldn't believe, because he can't believe he's there. That's the best bowling lineup Australia's had, possibly ever.
Really? It's a big
Right?
call.
Really?
Lily, Thompson, mate, they didn't have a Nathan Lyon, and they didn't have a left arm. That could be the best bowling ever.
For 5 days of like grueling sport, do you sort of like go, fuck, why isn't it bigger than that?
Mate,
Come on, you want to win a World Cup, you got the biggest trophy in the world. You won the Ashes, you got a big trophy in all these sports, and it's like, you win Ashes, like how do you pitch as big as my finger?
I remember when I was working
Willie's
at
big on history.
Yeah,
Big
huge
on
on
history.
history.
Yeah.
You know actually
I
what
know,
it
that's
is?
the fucking stumps. I know what it is. Go on, put it in a bigger urn, the
It's the bales,
bales.
you muppet.
Whatever. Same thing. Put it in a bigger, I don't know.
Well,
Just
trophy.
put it in a big trophy.
when I was working on Triple M, we did some work with the NRL, and we had, we had to pick up.
Mate,
the
ours
trophy.
is a fucking trophy. Don't worry about that.
Well, I know when they filmed the video, when they filmed the ads for the trophy, it's on a robot arm, because even the massive guys like you
Yeah.
guys can't hold it
You
up.
need
For
two,
the,
heavy.
you need two blokes to hold it up.
Okay,
Well, if you ever have
So,
to worry about
Byrne.
Willie liking big things, just have a look at his teeth, and you'll understand the man's a man who likes big things.
how big are your hands? But
Big
anyway,
hands.
but
I can spin
but-
it. I'm gonna throw you a douche. That's what that is.
But this is the thing. You see this here, right? Right. So you see how big that is? That's been blown up. Okay. Now the NRL trophy, hard to handle. I'm a cricket player. Okay.
Yeah, you got delicate little hands.
That's all I got.
Nathan Lyon would
That's all I
struggle to
got.
lift anything other than that.
Pretty much it. Look, you can see he's got a sore finger as well.
He's put that on his knee to try and lift it up. is he the most underrated spin bowler in Australian cricket, apart from yourself?
I'm very, very well. I'm not underrated.
He was overrated.
You're very underrated for your time, like being in cast over the big fucking
You
cloud
don't
that
have
Shane Warne is, mate. Like he's underneath it as well. You're underneath it your whole career. Is it hard?
Part of
Being
his
underneath
contract-
Warnie.
Part of
Look,
his
it's
contract,
hard for a
mention
while,
Shane
and then
Warne.
he not so much. But anyway, as I was saying, Nathan Lyon, I'm really pleased you say that. I'm a wrist spin bowler. He's a finger spin bowler. We used to make fun of them. So amongst the dorks of the cricket world, spin bowlers were pretty much it. Okay, Warnie made us
lowest.
Well, we're pretty
Right
much
wingers.
Warnie made it cool.
Warnie made it cool.
Yeah.
I ran in off the coattails of him.
Yeah.
But finger spinners, they're all the
lowest of the
yeah, Nancy boy. But he's actually pretty
What
cool.
about Miralitharan? What was he? A finger spinner?
Well, no, he's more of a javelin sort of thrower. But, yeah.
Like a hammer
Yeah.
thrower? Like a
Well,
hammer
yeah,
thrower?
There was something sort of about that sort of thing that
Dart.
really didn't. Yeah, darts.
He was good at darts,
That's
yeah.
exactly right. 180.
One thing I'm interested in, are Australia that good or England just shit?
So I don't want to be the bitter and twisted old man. You know, like your dad and your grandpa will say, in my day, son, like, my gut feeling is that the England cricket team has let themselves down horribly, but I don't want to be the guy that tells, the Australian cricket team, these dudes, that they have...
That they're not good. Yeah, that they're playing a
Steve
bad
Smith is being talked about as being, Don Bradman, right?
Does he deserve that rap?
Maybe. Or maybe he does. I mean...
His
I don't know.
records, whatever he's done,
record's
like
pretty
his,
good.
his
Mate,
record's
he's not
ridiculous,
making any
isn't it?
mistakes.
Yeah.
Why does he cop such a pizzling from all the dudes in the Channel 9 box? Like, like Clark and Warne and all these sort of blokes. He just gets hammered. I don't know. I don't know. So I just listen to it and just go, why is he just getting smashed all the time? You know what I mean? Like, it's like he's not all there. They're just hammering.
You know, the thing is with the, you know, I'm happy to say, with the Channel 9 commentary box, right, you got Mark Taylor is a legend captain, right? But he retired at 33, 34, right? But he's a legend captain. I love him, and I'm.
Is he that young?
Yeah, mate, yeah, that young, right? You got Michael Clark, who you know was Australian captain for a long time. Warney, you got Mark Nicholas, just the Hampshire sort of clique, right? But the thing is that they all are from an era that was supposedly better. Okay, I don't think they're reluctant to say that Steve Smith's real good.
Protecting their reputation a
But
bit.
I just think
They
they're
just
in a
don't
bubble.
want him to overtake.
I don't know, they're in a bubble, mate. I don't think they
That
realise.
happens all the time. Doesn't matter what sport you play, you're going to get that old guard that's just not going to give the respect to these young kids.
Yeah.
And Steve Smith deserves all the accolades that he's getting.
Mate, he does. And you know what? Like, if for anybody who's met him, he's all cricket, right? He's totally serious, and he can be pretty full on. Like, I played for the Sixers when he was captain, and I'm an old bloke. I was 40-something.
Last year.
Yeah, 40-ish. 39. But he was captain, and I didn't want to borrow the, you know, I was doing my best, right?
Yeah.
And he's pretty full on. But you know what? At least he's serious about what he does. Yeah. Okay, so I can't fault him. He doesn't make any mistakes. If he makes some mistakes, he gets horribly angry.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with that.
Like, as a role model for young kids, there's probably no other better role model for young kids, don't you reckon? Just say he captains Australia. He's all about cricket.
He is.
You know what I mean? So he's that sort of bloke where he's not the most. He's probably not the characters that we're used to seeing, like in the 90s, you know, like with the Warnes and McGraths and Gilchrist and all that kind of stuff, because he's not really outspoken. He's not that sort of passionate sort of leader, but he's just a sort of bloke who just goes out there and just leads by example.
You watch him on the field, though. You watch him on the field.
Does he lip a lot?
You could have a camera on him the whole game, and you could watch it because he's all over the place. He's walking around.
Very special, isn't he?
He's got some mannerisms, I tell you. But he's just, I don't know. I think Steve Waugh was all ice. You know, like Ricky Ponting was. He'd get angry, but he wasn't overly sort of passionate when he was on the field.
Do cricket players have rituals before they do anything? Because it looks like he's very like.
I think he does.
Before he bats, he's always just flicking around and just doing stuff.
So we call them routines.
Is it a routine?
Yeah, it's a routine.
Or he might be on the spectrum. I don't know.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, I'm on the spectrum, so
we're all on the
you
spectrum,
know,
mate. It's all right.
It's a scale, right? It's a J curve. Look, I think he's definitely got his mannerisms.
Yeah. It's very weird to watch. I watch it and just go, what's he doing?
Well,
he does
great.
it every time.
I mean, it's great. It's hard to
Then
pause
he scores 200, so it's all right. Must be working.
He's amazing.
If you look at the way it's set up now, so there's 2 tests left.
Yeah.
Dead rubbers,
So
essentially.
hang on, so I'm not very good at maths. So we've played 3. It's a 5-test series. Yes, there's 2 left. Yep.
There's 2. I know you're an extreme. No, well, he's obviously Stewie's obviously very good at maths. That's why he's on the show. But
the good thing about 5-test series is I can do one hand. I get lost in between this one and this one.
Look at the size of those hands.
Well, it's only one hand.
Little nuggets.
So
yeah, baby.
You've played in? Did you play dead rubbers in Origin?
Yeah, it's awful.
Is it hard
awful.
to get up? You would have played dead rubbers.
But the only thing you can get up for is, you know, some kids are making their debut,
Yeah,
you
right.
know, and you don't know when it's going to be your last Origin. So Origin's a very special play. It'd be like Ashes as well. You don't know when your last test is going to be. So you're going to play the 4th and 5th test the best you can. You know, try and stay in that team or whatever. So I think with dead rubbers, I only played in 1 in my Origin career, and it was awful.
Was it hard to get up for?
It was. But then once you get out there, you still know you're playing Origin, but then you have these little moments where it's like, who cares if we win?
So what's the motivation for the Aussies now? Do they want the clean sweep, or is the pressure off that they've won an Ashes?
So the thing with cricket's weird. Like, so as I keep referring to this. This is a special photo. Mm-hmm. In 20 years' time, 50 years' time, 100 years' time, people will look at this photo, right? So you've seen it here first, people. And it was
first on Pat Cummins tweeted it.
Well, okay, Pat Cummins came first, but you know I was second. Bowlers and batsmen are different. Like real different. Yeah. Like for me, like if I'm a bowler going into these last 2 dead rubbers, every time you get a batsman out, they remember.
Yeah.
Right. I don't remember yesterday. Okay. And it was the same.
Same.
Yeah. Hi, my name's Stuart. I don't remember yesterday. I haven't remembered yesterday for 14 years. But the batsmen do remember. That's
Right.
the only thing they remember. And so the opportunity that these guys have is that they get, because England will probably play some new guys.
Right.
And if you get them out and if you hurt them and you
They'll
humiliate
get him
them,
the next time.
they'll get them for the rest of their careers.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Right.
mate.
Interesting.
You line up against somebody who you've like made a fool of, they're either going to be scared of it, like the next time you see them, they're either going to be scared of doing it again or trying to make up for it.
Yeah.
So they're going to go out of their game plan.
Yeah.
Or they're going to try something totally random and just humiliate.
So on that
humiliate
topic,
themselves.
who was your target? Who struggled?
I
against
had a
you?
bunch in state cricket,
Right.
which I'm not going to mention them
Okay.
because the reason I'm not going to mention them is because
It's state cricket, no one's heard of them.
no, you probably would have heard of them. You'd have heard of them. No, it's because it wasn't personal.
Right.
Like for me, I only realised it was personal when I was almost dead and buried.
Yeah.
Because I kind of go, "Well, how come I get him out every single time I bowled him?" And it was because they remembered. I didn't even know. I was playing against Queensland in a Shield final once, right? And I'd got this guy out. We played 2 Shield games and 2 one-day games against Queensland during the year. I got him out both innings of both Shield games and both one-day games. And then we play him in the Shield final. And he opened the batting so that I didn't have to bowl to him. And Steve Waugh chucked me the ball to open the bowling in a Shield game. And I'm kind of going, dude, mate, come on.
Bowler.
Like I just want to, I've been out.
Opening spin ball.
I've been out last night. I'm a little bit tired and emotional. And I've got him out a lot anyway. It was pressure for me, right?
Yeah.
And
Got
so, got him. But
That's probably one of the main differences, though, is rugby league goes for 80 minutes. Cricket's going for 5 days. It's so much more of a mental
see,
thing.
my-
So if someone's in your head in cricket, they're in your head for 5 days. You're just sitting there looking at
well, I would say to you, Byrne, that I'm in your head for the rest of your career. If
Yeah.
you're a batsman, but I reckon it's the same for footy players. I mean, rumour has it, yeah.
I think it'd be a bit different. I mean, like just say
But if you smash someone,
if you get a
they
young,
remember
but
it,
if
right?
you get a young
Yeah.
kid, just say if you're in the pinnacle of your career, and then he's only going to get bigger, better, stronger, faster. Or you could bury his career right there, but odds are he's going to get bigger, stronger, and you're going to get older, and he's going to get better. So just say by the time he's 27, then I was like 32, 33. They don't forget that shit.
But I bet he still remembers
He'd
when
still-
you buried him.
He would remember that, but I think it comes a time where you're like, when can I actually take this dude's head off? And that happened with me a couple of times when I was younger.
Right.
I was like, when is it time to actually go at the big dog? You know what I mean? So, and it was a hard sort of thing. You don't want to disrespect it, or you sort of got to know your place as well. So. It's a bit different with cricket because it's not that sort of.
contact.
It's not a contact
Well, it's
sport.
not contact. I mean,
But it's a mental sport. That's what I'm saying. 80
the
minutes,
thing.
and then you've got 5. It's another question. Like 5 days. I'll just say you've been sitting out in the field for the whole day.
Gets hot too.
You know what I mean? And yeah, exactly. It
Summer
looks-
sport.
Yeah. But just say
and you could have been going for 15, 16 hours by that stage. so-
exactly. And then you just say, then all of a sudden, there's sometimes I've got to watch you or Warney bat, and it was just like you're that unenthused.
Well,
It's
you wouldn't
have been
ridiculous.
watching
That was
Long
the
when he was
great
batting.
thing. When I batted, you didn't have to watch
That's
for
what I'm
long.
saying. Like, so
Very
you
short
but you put all your energy into bowling, blah blah blah, and then you got to wait, just say a day or whatever, and then oh shit, you're up, Stewie.
Yeah.
Like, how do you mentally prepare that? Did people go, fuck, okay, we're in that position where they need 50, 20, or they go, just go out there, have a crack and get off? Were you ever under pressure where it was
Yeah.
just like, we need you to hold stumps till the next day? Or did you need to score 20 to win the game? Were you in a position like that where it was hard? Or
That's
was it-
one of the things that I don't like to disrespect guys that are doing their best.
Yeah.
But I don't think that I think there's a couple of guys in this English team that aren't doing their best.
Yeah.
And so, because I couldn't bat. I mean, anybody that saw me, I was a right-handed batsman. Lots of people thought, yeah, you sure you're not left-handed?
French cricket. You're
Yeah,
playing
well,
French cricket.
a lot of people thought that maybe I just,
Pick the bat up
should
the
the
wrong way.
ball have a rattle in it, that sort of stuff. The problem for me was that I knew I couldn't do much, right?
Yeah.
But if I went out to bat and there was a certain, I reckon I could make probably 30. My maximum,
Yeah.
I made a couple of scores more than that, but there weren't many, right?
Yeah.
30. So that means that if there was 50 to go, the guy up the other end had to get 20. So I did
Yeah.
my best. I reckon there's a couple of guys in the English team at the moment who aren't thinking like that.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm embarrassed for them. and I think they should be dropped. I'm sure they're lovely, lovely blokes. And as I said, I'm really worried about criticising guys that are doing their best. I don't think they're doing their best.
Well,
You
you've
can tell,
actually
you can
been
tell, but,
you've
you know.
been coaching a young kid in England by the name of Mason Crane.
Mason Crane.
Now he would have to be a big chance, wouldn't he, of getting a start after? I mean, for me, the English bowlers have been the thing that's cost them this series. So Broad's underperformed. Anderson's tried hard. Overton's been good when he's come in, but
He's injured.
He's injured. So surely your man gets a run.
So Moeen Ali is the spin bowler for England at the moment. The last test he played before he came out here was at Lords. He got a hat-trick and 5 wickets at Lords, right? Pretty cool. I never got a hat-trick in the test match, so that's pretty good. He hurt himself after test 1, cut his finger, and they still played him. Like, didn't cut his, like, can't bowl, right?
Like stitches.
Should have been stitched. They glued it. Like, but he's a
Finger spinner.
He's a finger spinner.
Yeah.
Like, he
I
can't
keep
bowl.
underplaying it just going, it's your fucking
There's
finger.
a
who
finger,
cares?
there's a finger spinner.
Oh, hang on, it's your
stop
whole
talking
job.
about-
It's
why do you
sorry.
talk about fingers so much? I mean, it's just like, it's ridiculous, really. I mean, it's just you, finger. But it's
be a
like,
good finger spinner, I
yeah,
reckon.
I reckon you would be really good at
big
it.
hands.
But they're big. It's
claws.
not as big as your head, but
Yeah.
it's pretty big. But
Or teeth or
this
chin.
guy's been injured, right? I got the young bloke who I coached last year. So England sends a bunch of spin bowlers out to me in Sydney each year. They play club cricket. I coach them a couple of times a week. One of the guys from last year, he won best club cricketer last year, O'Reilly medal, got the most wickets in Sydney grade cricket. He's in the Ashes squad. Should have played second test. Probably shouldn't have played in Perth, but, you know,
They couldn't have
Moeen
done
Ali was
worse.
injured. I think he'd probably play Melbourne, Sydney.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know whether it's a good idea. He's only 21. I didn't play for New South Wales till I was 26. Mate, when you bowl slow, okay, see, I keep talking about your career. Like, when you're a big bloke, you've got a physical, we're spin bowlers. I bowl slow. Your grandma could hit me for 6. Okay? That's a fact. So it's not about what you can do, it's about how you can cope with getting smacked by a muppet.
Yeah. Most fast bowlers,
Yeah.
they can't really bat that well.
Yeah.
Just say back when you were
They
playing.
bat better than me.
So just say if you were getting them out and just taking the piss out of them, always get them out. You'd pick on them when they're batting, and then all of a sudden you'd have to bat, and then they're bowling. Would they just absolutely pizzle you up?
Well, so the thing,
Like
mate,
head bounces,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff? Like, because I would.
you're going to be really surprised to hear this. I got hit in the head probably 20 or 30 times.
Yeah,
I know, you're surprised, aren't you? I know, really.
I can see
no,
that.
no, really.
If they were going to aim at any part of your body,
Well, they
the
couldn't
head would
miss
be
my
the
head.
easiest
I
thing to
know.
hit.
But would they do that? They do that on purpose, you know what I mean? Because just say you'd make a fool and spin bowling.
Yeah. Look, they didn't do it because I'd made a fool of them.
Yeah.
They did it because part of cricket, and part of cricket is, if I'm scared of you, I'm not going anywhere near it, mate.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm totally cool with it. I was speaking to Stuart Clark yesterday, played a bunch of fast bowler for Australia. I was playing with him when he smashed a couple of guys' heads in. I played with him at Sutherland Cricket Club the first year I came to Sydney. The next year I played at North Sydney. The first ball he bowled me hit me in the head. Right? Right? And we're mates. Right? I talked to him yesterday and he said, you know what? When you sign on to play cricket as a 10-year-old, you know that there's an intimidation.
Yeah.
Mate, because if you're scared of me, then it's going to affect the way that you play the next shot.
Because I look at fast bowlers, they just got this. You have a look at the West Indies, you know, like Ambrose and Wallace. They just had this mad swag about them. You know what I mean? It's just like it was like they were going to just attack the hell out of everyone, and they did. And it looked like everybody was scared of him.
How tall are you?
6'5".
Right, so Ambrose, when he ran into bowl, so he's actually the scariest bowler of all, like, for me. Because he ran into bowl and it looked like it was a marble in his hand. So he's running into bowl, like, and it's the same size ball as I'm bowling with. He's like, and he's got his arms going like this, like, and he's running in, and I'm thinking, is that the same size ball? So the problem for me when I'm batting,
Like a ping pong ball.
you're standing there and you've got a long time to think about it, right? So he's running into bowl and I'm going, it looks smaller than the ball that I bowl with. I'm thinking all these things. And then I thought to myself, he's pretty big. I wonder what would happen if he decided not to bowl and just ran through the crease and just smashed
Yeah, that's
it
what
in.
it looks like he's going to do every time.
That's what I'm thinking. And so I'm standing there going, I think he's going to run through the crease. I'm pretty sure he's going to run through and kill me and just like run over me.
That's what I loved about just say like Steve Waugh and that. Like he'd go straight through and just say, Steve, or just even block or whatever. He just they'd just meet sort of in the middle of the crease, and it was just this big. I love cricket when it was like that. Just a massive stare down, like Gill, Chris, all these sort of blokes.
See, this is what Steve Waugh said to me. Steve Waugh said to me, "What
He's
are you
an
doing?
animal, man.
What are you doing thinking of that?" He said, "There's a red thing in his hand. Watch it, hit it." And I'm going, "Oh, right." So you don't think about how big the guy is and whether or not he's going to run through the crease. You just watch the red thing.
I got you now. That's what I'm playing.
You've always been an unusual flower. So does Australia win the next 2 tests?
The thing is that I would like England. So one of my mates is coach of England, right? So Trevor Bayliss, he was the best coach in New South Wales. He played at Penrith. He had one club man. Played at Penrith his entire life. He's a great, great man, right? He's coach of England. He coached Sri Lanka, coached England. I don't want him to get the sack because I think he's the best coach going around. And I'd like England to sack a couple of blokes. Stuart Broad, I'm sure he's a good bloke. He's bowling 1 ball out of 5 overs, reasonable pace. The rest of them are rubbish.
Yeah.
He's batting, and I can say this being an embarrassing batsman, he's an embarrassment. Moeen Ali should never have played. Like after he got injured, get rid of him. I don't care whether they pick my guy or not, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love it if they pick Mason Crane, but if he doesn't get a gig, I don't care. But Moeen Ali's got to go. You can't be that guy. If you come into a match and you've got huge raps on you and you humiliate yourself, you've let not just yourself down, but you've let your team down, and I can't trust you anymore.
Yeah.
I want those dudes gone. And I think there needs to be a couple of changes. If that happens, then my mate Trevor Bayliss might keep his job.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's going to happen.
If it goes 5 zips, there's going to be a new coach.
But he spent
he's gone.
He spent the whole
If it's 5
tour
zip, he's gone.
pulling blokes out of pubs, bashing everyone. Like the whole thing has just been one disaster.
I think
after
England's
another.
got a
It's not his
rugby
fault.
league culture. That's their problem.
But you know what?
There you go.
But
Well
Willie,
said.
they don't. Mate, they've had their 4th drink
They're
at
on the piss.
8:35.
Yeah.
No, it's 8:35 p.m. after a team barbecue, and somebody tips a drink on somebody else. Mate, tipping a drink on somebody's not smashing them between them.
What's the social life now? What's a social life like now for, like, just say, a Test cricketer?
When I got
Just
in
say
the-
when you're playing
Yeah.
compared to these dudes, would they celebrate after this 3rd game?
Oh, you got to
Would
celebrate.
they celebrate after every Test?
We're big fans of celebrating because, and this generation of guys, they celebrate in the change rooms a lot harder than
Yeah, I think that's the whole
because it's locked up.
society
right?
thing now, man.
Yeah, I don't think they're going very hard at all, mate. There's a kid Duckett from England who's been chucked out of the England A, the Lions set up, and not going to play for England for the next because he poured a drink over another bloke. Now, I don't know. Well, when I was at school, sticks and stones but break my bones, words and whatever hurt me. A drink's not going to hurt either. Just by the way. I don't know whether or not that's such a big deal to me.
When you were playing just with all them legends players,
I would never spill a drink.
No. You never pour a drink over. But what was the social scene like then? Just because you were playing with so many characters, was there little cliques? Because only 11 aside, isn't it? There was a little cliques there. Did you have your own little thing? Just say when you finished a test, you won a test. Would you go out with your own mates? Would you hang around all the boys? Did you go out with Warney? Did you go out with Gilly? All these other blokes. Did they all hang around with each other? Like, what was it like? Was it like after a massive win in the change rooms?
So in Australia, bowlers hang out with bowlers.
Yeah,
Because batsmen are different, right? Batsmen is just like, oh, Willie, you're really good. No, you're so good. No, you're good. No, you're good. No, batsmen just love each other, right? They just tell each other how amazing they are,
Fast
how
bowlers
good they
hang out
look.
with each other.
Fast bowlers go, geez, I tell you what, I got 5 wickets there. I'm crap though. Like bowlers are a little bit more down to earth, a bit more realistic. They go, got away with that, didn't I? Did you see that half tracker I got a wicket with there? They're cool. Bowlers are cool. But when you go away, so if we go to South Africa or England or something like that, there's normally you take a team of 17, squad of 17, then there'd be a bunch of guys who wouldn't be playing. So I remember going to South Africa a couple of times with Bickle, Lehman, and myself.
Good gang.
Yeah, we were never going to play a game. So, I mean, that was a
dirt
different
trackers.
situation. I No, it wasn't. I can't believe you said that. I mean, we were, just exploring the culture of South Africa.